Hi, my name is Ronnie Fulton. I'm a professional woodworker, and today I'm going to talk about the new Sys3 Org Systainers and the system that goes along with them. So first, let's flash back to the older Systainer that I've had this for at least 12 years, and it has the older type of clasp on the front, and it had the containers. I really liked this one because it had the flat bottom, so even if you had it sideways, you didn't have to worry about the things falling out. It did a great job. Sometimes screws would stick into it, but it was a great system, and I had a bunch of these, and as you can tell, these are very well used. I liked that they interlocked together. I liked that they were in the same uniform footprint. These were good containers, and they definitely saw their use. But let's flash forward to the new ones. Okay, here's some of the features I love about the new Systainers. First thing is it has a clear lid, so when you have things inside, you can clearly see what's in there instead of opening the lid and finding out that way. There's also there's a 22 model, there's one that's empty, and then there's one that has 6 compartments in them. And you can actually change these out. They all fit in within each other. The other thing I like are these squares on here. If you happen to have out some for a job or you lose a container, you can still close it and it still will hold everything still because they're stuck between the squares on the bottom and the top. Also on the front now, there's some convenient handles for you to grab and pull when it's on the rack mount. And there's also the new insets on the side which accept the rails, which I'll show in a second. So I'm super excited about these rails options, which basically make these into drawers for very little effort. They're sold in a pack of 4, which will do left and right of 4 Systainers. And this is basically what they look like, and they get mounted in any enclosure you want, and you basically can create a quick drawer assembly. So here's my first mock-up of a system that I've been working on for the last 2 months, and I thought I would build one that would accept the drawer slides, and I made this simple enclosure out of 3/4 inch plywood. I'll show you an example of all the things that you can hold in this small area. This one is my plumbing, and it's all miscellaneous fittings and things that you need when you're on a plumbing job or have a plumbing job. And then let's go to that one too. I have electrical, and these handles really come in handy too. In electrical, I have all the wire nuts, clips. I even have a soldering iron, strippers, everything that I could need for electrical. Then all you organization people, I'll just go ahead and show you how a lot of these are configured. This one's gotten a little messy. It looks like we have a little bit of a trash situation going on there, but we have Velcro, zip ties, anchors, lag screws, a lot of fasteners in this one. This is one I'm especially excited about. I always kind of have trouble storing things like pop rivets and pop rivet gun. I've got this little Bessie clamp that comes in handy when I'm doing pop rivets. I have it all in one little case. I can just take it to my work where I'm working and have everything in one container. Next, I have my small screw container, and have all the types of screws that I use that I would call small screws in one same place. And then this one I call larger screws like deck screws and Tapcons and that type of thing. And I even have the smaller drill bits that I need with it. And usually I keep a hex head in here as well for the blue screws. And then in this one, I basically have parts for the screen doors that we manufacture, and it just shows you how customized of storage you can be. You can make it be more of the small ones, and you can change out the large containers with the small containers. So I've done a little switching on here just to customize mine more fully. Okay, also on the actual container itself, the mistake I made on this one was I actually made it a little bit too wide, where these would actually kind of almost fall out. So what I did to save the case and not have to redo it is I put a 1/4 inch piece of plywood to bump this out so that it fits really nice and snug left to right but doesn't fall out. The dimensions of this enclosure is 30 inches tall from the inside to inside measurement and 16 3/4 from here to the correct spot right here. And then I'm 13 3/4 inch back deep in the cabinet. So whatever thickness material you use, it doesn't really matter as long as you do the interior dimensions that size, you're great. And you can go as high as you want, but on this one I did 30 inches to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the Systainers height. So as far as the slides go, these are LR32 compatible. So if you're using the metric version of the interior shelf pins or the Festool guide rail system with the router shelf pin jig, these will already actually be compatible for that. I didn't want to go through the trouble because I knew that I was going to have them dedicated for this size always. So a little tip for you is I basically just started at the bottom of the case here, and I put the first one in on the slides, and then I basically just put a 1/4 inch piece of plywood on each side, put the shelf sides on there, and just kept building it up. That way it stayed perfectly level. I never had to do any measuring at all. And that's where that 30 inch dimension comes in handy, because I've already figured that out for you basically. Drawers, when they go into the actual slides, they actually raise up and come down. So they actually will not pull out unless you raise up, which is a nice feature. They're locked in here. In this video, I concentrated on the same size Systainers, but just note that all of the new Systainers that are coming out are actually built with these slots. So you could actually make a cabinet with different size Systainers and mix these up as much as you want. As you can tell, hopefully I'm really excited about this. I think it's a great way to store other than just putting them on a regular shelf. Hope this video helps you plan out your organization system. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions or comments, and make sure you subscribe for more valuable content. Thanks for watching.